All right, so what's up, people? In my last video, I showed you how Monster Truck Madness interprets a pattern like this and how to cut it up by hand so that the textures turn out seamless in Monster Truck Madness. I got tired of doing that because I'm cutting up lots of textures at the moment for a track that I'm working on. So I wrote a Python script that will do it for me, and I'm going to share it with you. And I wanted to show you how to use it. So here I have a 184 by 184 pixel PNG that I want to turn into textures for Monster Truck Madness. And I'm going to show you how to slice it up with my tool that I wrote for you guys. So see my last video if you want to know how to make textures like this. See Obi-Wan's guide that I linked in the last video for how to get started on these kind of things. I'm just here today to show you how to slice this thing up with my tool. So, assuming that you have made some texture that you want to slice up for use in Monster Truck Madness, I'm going to take this image and slice it into overlapping 64 by 64 pieces. You can download my tool, Mtm2slicer. I'll have it linked in the description. And here's how you use it. So once you download the tool and you unzip it into your favorite place, you can open up your folder, take your image in where the tool is, or make a copy of the little Python script into the folder where you're going to be slicing up all your images. Once you've copied the Python script into the folder where you're going to be working, you can follow the steps in this README that I wrote to get the thing working for you. So you've got your slicer in with the PNG files you want to slice up. It takes in PNGs, it spits out PNGs, and then I'll show you how to convert those to RAWs using Dummy's Man tool in a second here. But drag this thing in where your PNG is, right click in that folder, and you can click open in terminal. So we're going to use the Windows terminal to use this thing. The first thing you have to do in order to get this thing working, here in my instructions, you copy your slicer file. We did this. You right click in there and open up your terminal like we just did. And now if you don't have Python installed, which you probably don't, you are gonna just type Python here. If you type Python and you hit enter, I have it installed already, so it does this for me. But if you don't have it installed yet, it'll prompt you to install it via the Windows Store. So everybody's favorite place to download stuff here, boom. And it'll install Python for you. It's like a couple megabytes download and it installs super quick. So you run that, it installs Python for you. That's the first step. The second step to use my script here, it involves the pillow library. So here you can open it up with Notepad yourself and see how short it is. So it imports image tools from the pillow library. So you got to install pillow for Python. And to do that, you go pip, so that's Python's install protocol or whatever. You type install, you type pillow, you hit enter, and it'll install it up for you. I already have pillow installed, so it doesn't do it for me, but for you, you'll see a little bar here. It'll install. It's a couple megabytes only, and then you're ready to use my tool. So how do you use this script? With your file, I set it up so that it'll load image files for you, and it'll cut your image up into 64 by 64 pieces with the overlap like you need in Monster Truck Madness. So how do you do it? I want to slice up this PNG called Grass Rock Dark using my tool, and so what I do is I type Python. Not Python exe, but Python. My tool is called Mtm2slicer, and my shell is opened up in this folder, so it'll find it. Type mtm and hit tab on your keyboard. It'll fill it in for you. So there's the script you're going to run with Python. My script takes 2 input arguments. The first one is your file name. So grass, rock, dark is what I want to do. In order to shortcut my life a little bit, I start typing grass, rock, which is the first bit of my file name. I hit tab, it fills it in for me, and it makes note of the directory. We're already in the same directory. And then this thing needs to be in quotations. Boom. So the first argument should be your file name and directory in quotations. It'll turn blue for you if you're doing it right. Your second input, or your second argument for this script, is what you want the output textures to be called. In my README here, I explain that you should make the name 5 letters or less. 5 letters or less. So grass, rock, dark, something like that, you know? Grass, rock, dark, that's 5 letters right there. The reason for naming your output slices with a name that's 5 letters or less is that when you go to use the tool that converts these things to RAW, which is the image format that Monster Truck Madness understands, Dummies Man's tool will try to rename them with shorter names if you have chosen a long name. And what I've found happens is if your name is too long, the first few files are good and the later files get corrupted. So choose a short name and then go from there. You hit enter, boom. The output is meaningless. What I have outputting here is the size of my image. So Grass Rock Dark was a 184 by 184 PNG. This guy here, it's 184 by 184. I forget why it's telling me none. And then you'll notice in the folder here, where we had everything, I got my Grass Rock Dark, but look at this. I now have all these textures. So looking on the details, top left corner, and let's just go down here. That's the left side of the texture going down. That's the bottom left corner. So you'll see that the things are numbered column 0, row 0. So instead of row by column, it's column by row. So 0, 0 is top left corner. 0, 1 is the first column, next row. 0, 2 is still first column, final row. And then it just goes on like that. So there's the top, middle, middle. That's your rock texture that you can use to tile your whole world. And then bottom, and so on. So you get 9 textures out of that. These are all cut up in such a way that they have the 2 pixel overlap around the border, and all of the 2 pixel overlaps that you need match up with any other thing you would want. So this guy here with the green in the top left half would match up with, I don't know, let's see, this guy here with the green in the top right half. So the greens will overlap nicely in Monster Truck Madness, and there will be no seam between them. So boom, that's how you get your tiles sliced up how you want them. How do you convert them to raw format to use in Monster Truck Madness? That's super easy. In my tools folder here, I got Dummies Man's tool called Try Raw here. So open that in its own folder. That's what I like to do. All right, so here's my folder with the stuff I just sliced up. Here's Dummies Man's tool Try Raw. All you gotta do is select all the guys that you want to convert to raw format. So that's all your little 64 by 64 tiles that my script spit out for you. Drag them over to Try Raw, let go, and you'll see it succeeding in converting all of them. So you come back over here and you notice tons more files just showed up in your directory. For each of the PNGs that you had, you get a raw file. That's the image file. You get an ACT file. I believe that's the color palette. And you get an OPA. I don't remember what that is. But all 3 of these files tracks the program, and maybe MTM2 uses the raw and the ACT files. So you can drag those into your tracks art folder and get to work making your track. So yeah, it's as simple as that. If you have any questions about this, or if you need more functionality, let me know. The script is here, so you can edit it as you like. Notice the tile size I have here outputting is 64. That's something you could change. The step size is 60. That's good for Monster Truck Madness. So it's spitting out 64 by 64 size tiles, and it's like copying every 60 over. So that's what Monster Truck Madness wants. 4x4 Evo 1 and 2 probably use 256 by 256 tiles, and you could mess around with these things, or let me know what you need and we can see how we need to change this. I guess the final thing to say is quick shout out to Google Gemini. I told it what I needed. It wrote me this little bit, and then I beefed this script up so that you can run it in the terminal like this. So yeah, let me know if you're using this thing. Let me know if you have any requests or anything, and I'll do my best to help. All right, see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.